I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
What up? What up? What is up? Welcome in here to Pregaming. It's Sports Money at 6 p.m. It must be Monday to Friday, because this is where we go to fire on the bookies. Here we're going to use all the information, late breaking stats, injury updates, cash flow, line movement, bobblehead nights, birthdays. Actually, I'm just kidding. We don't use birthdays, but we'll use the rest of it, damn it. And we're going to put it all to work tonight as we fire away. It's a smaller card, but that's where we do our best work. We'll cover each of the 7 p.m. and later games in the MLB. We have Tampa and the Yankees. We have the Dodgers and Cincinnati. We've got Miami and St. Louis. We've got Texas and the Angels. We'll finish it off with Seattle and the Nomad Athletics. Before moving on over, we've got 2 WNBA games. It's a 3-card slate. I've got 3 bets to lay out for you guys here tonight. And we'll see if we can't run it tight. It's going to be a lot of fun going through the trends and some of the angles that we have in place tonight. Before we even get started, shout out to our guy, F. Donahue, gifted a Sports Money membership. My dude. Cheers, brother. Kicking us off in the right direction. I see that. I get jacked up. That puts me in a good mood. You know what else puts me in a good mood? The hammering, the absolute bludgeoning that we put on the books last night. It was embarrassing. I had to come in here. I had to tell you guys, look, it wasn't a great Monday. Lost 3.5 units. That sucks. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. But I felt really great yesterday about that card, and we won just over 7 units, almost 7.1 units just here on Pregame. We went 2-2. We picked up 2 units in RBI action with Sharpie earlier in the day. That's where it started to come together. Man, it just felt good to be banging away on the bookies. Top to bottom, start to finish, man, we had ourselves that Cincinnati Reds called dead to nuts there. We originally toying around with the full game, backed it off, said first 5. They win the first 5, 4-2. They went down 2-0. It was looking sketch. They lost the game outright. But we covered our first 5 for a nice plus 126 score. We got the Boston Red Sox. The Sox, they smashed. Had the khakis. Incorporate the khakis one in there. Minus 118 cash for us. First 5 over 4.5 in the Phillies game cashed. Full game 9. If you got 8.5, it's good for you. Gave out a 9 here. That line had moved from that 8.5. It was even money 9. It pushed. It is what it is. We did cash bigly with that Miami and the under 8. Did we get greedy? Yes. Was it a calculated decision? Yes. Did it come through for us? Yes. Miami was plus 128. We added the under 8. Remember that line moved from 8 to 7.5 down to 7. So we jumped through there and picked that thing up. We did not cash the Nationals. That was our lone baseball loser on the night. We did cash the Angels. They busted them up exactly how we expected that thing to go down. Bad spot for Patrick Corbin. He took the L. We took the W. And then we closed it off with a plus 108 on the San Diego Padres. The Padres, the Fathers, the Friars, whatever you want to call them, beat up on them Mets. Boot to ass. It was a good baseball day. We went 1-1 in the WNBA. We cashed that Golden State. Golden State, winners outright. How about that? Plus 8.5 in our back pocket. The Chicago Sky suck. Plus 7.5 was not the answer. Not only was it not the answer, lots of things happened last night in the world of the WNBA. Maybe you saw it. Somebody was either offering an assist, maybe had too many, one extra, I'm not sure. Lime green makes its way to the court there in the WNBA. I thought it was funny for a lot of reasons. One, Some dude had to carry that thing in. A little strange, dude. Like you're going through the security and you got, not sure. 2, perfect time to launch it too. It reminded me of that Bills game. Tom Brady was in town for that Bills game. And said utensil made its way to the field. Now you could argue player safety. Them gals could have tripped on it. I'm not so sure. Albeit, I think some of them gals never seen one of those things before. Just saying. Speculation. Brittany Griner. Tell me that's not a dude. Tell me that's not a dude. I'm just saying. That was funny. Now, on top of that, Angel Reese. Poor sport. Did you see her when she was leaving the game? Hoodie up, hiding, ducking behind her teammate, doing one of these, trying not to be seen. Embarrassed for her performance, and she should be, because it was ugly. But we took the L in that game. Soapy, so it is. Fired off today to start off the Major League Baseball card, trying to close in on a 4-in-1 day for our premium members. Cashed a bunch of spots today. Matter of fact, we had a loss. Got a little too cute. Overdiced this card up and took the under 8 in Boston. It's 13-1. Clearly, it was a Boston smash spot. Shame on me. We did cash Toronto. What a back and forth fun way to start the card out there. It was great. Toronto wins that game 9-8. We got a plus 106. We cashed the Tigers 7-2 this afternoon, minus 127. We got the walk-off winner in extra innings with the Kansas City Royals. Funny thing is, I played the under 2 days in a row in that series. Just got smashed both times. And I stayed off it today. But I did play Kansas City. We got that cash today. And we're waiting. We're waiting for this Pittsburgh San Francisco Giants gave out the under 7.5. So we're waiting. It's 1-1. It's the 9th inning. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So it's been a solid day. A solid day and a half, as a matter of fact. Now we have a big night coming up. We've got First Strike night tonight. First Strike has been 5-1 in its last 6. 3-0 last week. I like the prices today. Wait till you guys see them. I'm always curious, too. We did a live premiere on Monday for the VB show. I told you guys about that because they were starting at 6 and our show's at 6. And so to refuse or to prevent the overlap, I should say, not refuse, but to prevent the overlap, we did a live premiere. I'd be curious if you guys would show up for a live premiere for that. Sit around, play the recording, and then talk to each other in the chat. Comments like that. I'm not sure. No, we do obviously have our big Saturday shows. Anyways, we get plenty of time to chat it up, do our thing. Cedric says the Pirates and Giants are in extra innings. Okay. Just stay under. Just stay under. Did give out a parlay today with Mertens and the under 8 in the Chicago Cubs game. Sadly, that did not cash. The total's down 3.5 in that Pirates game. I did take the Padres. I did give out a free play. If you guys haven't checked out the free plays, they're over there on Winnable. No cost to sign up. No credit cards required. You decide. Do you want me to send it as a text alert? Do you want to receive it as an email notification? How do you want to be incommunicado when I put out a free play? That play was on the under 9.5 in the Phillies and White Sox game. They're in the 3rd inning. Much delayed start. I doubled down on it. Actually, I tripled down on it. So I don't want to jinx myself here, but last game in town. And it was a raining delay. And we already know on getaway days, these things tend to go under anyways. Fucking great spot to jump in on that under. I loved it. We'll see what happens, though. It's 9.5, dropped down to 9s. 7.5's the live number right now. Juice to the under in that game as well. So that brings us about current. There's a lot to cover. We had a lot of plays out there, a lot of action, a lot of bankroll building yesterday into today, which is great. That's where we want to play. That's where we want to be. I even parlayed a couple things yesterday, and those hit. Went over on the live stream last night with our guy Razor Sharp, cashed a couple plays over there with the Exactus. I deserve it. I was embarrassed with what happened on Monday. But hey, here it is, Wednesday. It's hump day. We got a lot to do here, trying to finish off this month strong. We've got 2 days left here, including this slate, as I mentioned tonight. We'll have some action again tomorrow. We'll be doing it up. Tomorrow pops off the first preseason football game. I've got 2 plays already in that game. I know it's just a game. I got it. But it's also the first game. I get excited about it. I want to see what happens out there. I want to see how these plays cash. We do have some afternoon baseball action. It'll be that Tampa Bay and Yankees game. So you look for a play over there on the community post. What else? Fade guys in play tonight with some soccer action. Can toss that out there. Catch that soccer play last night too. I think it was Fernando had asked, what do you think about this LA football club? I said, I think you got to take the under 2.5 at even money. 1-1 final. Good stuff. Now, the Wyndham Championship will pop off tomorrow. Early start for the golf action out there for the last real PGA event of the season. And if you haven't checked the video out yet, you definitely want to go scoop it because there's a couple of guys with some motivation spots. And we talk about that in the video, what they need, how they need to do it so that they can get on this USA Ryder Cup team. And we specifically talked about 2 or 3 of the players. I think it was 3 of the players that are in a position out there. So top 20s, top 10s, top 5s, first round leaders, outright leaders. Tomorrow, that thing will pop off early. So don't miss it. You can do a parlay boost at DraftKings. Top X finish. That means top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40s. And you can parlay them. And they're giving you a boost. So why the hell not take a shot with that as well? Make sure you check it out. But we got to get to work. You guys know the deal. There's never enough time in the day. We've got an hour show to pop off all these games. Hey, we might even be a little faster today. I got some things to do before we record First Strike. 5-1. 3-0 our last. I already got 2 plays loaded up again for the UFC this weekend. One of them I'll be giving out tonight. It's a plus 160, I think is the number. Gave out a plus 185, it cashed. Gave out a plus 185, it cashed. Gave out a plus 175, it cashed. Even gave you guys here a plus 165, that cashed. New system, new format, new tools, big wins. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow, enough of all of that. You guys are here to hear about plays, not what we did, what we're going to do. But it is important to be transparent. It is important to talk about the wins. It is important to talk about the losses. It is important to recognize Skunt Blaster with the $4.99 dono. Gives us the Skunt Bag play of the day on the Tampa Bay Rays and the Minnesota United to win to nil parlay. To win to nil. It's a plus 430. That means Minnesota United have to shut them out and win. And the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. We'll pop off our action here. The first action on the card. Let's do it, though, guys. Know the deal. In show, thumbs up button. Smack that thing. Show some support. Show the love for what we're doing here at Sports Money. It only takes you a second. It costs you nothing, and it does truly help us immensely. If you haven't come in here and smashed that thumbs up button, please take a second to do so. And then after the show, leave a comment. Toss your favorite play in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's ride it. I got our guy Tom Leach commenting on the golf action. He gave a winner in the comments last week. He was commenting this week with a couple of his first round leaders. Comments are important. We love to see them. We love to read them. Love to respond to them. But all that's post show. In show, thumbs up. Take a second to do so now if you haven't already done so. Got to get myself amped up here. It's been a long day. It's been a warm day. It's been a humid day. I'm ready for winter. I'm ready for hockey. 69 days till the NHL season pops off. Matter of fact, 24 days till college football, 36 days till the NFL, but we know preseason pops off this week. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at something. You know, trying to layer in some preseason action. We talked about the Harbaughs. We talked about the lack of success that they demonstrate in their first, well, this particular Harbaugh in his first game of the preseason. Let's see. Can I do this? Can we do this here? They might not have the full lines up. Let me tell you this. You're going to want to take the Chargers in the first half. The Chargers in the first half. I know what I said about them not winning games. I'll tell you what. There it is. Oh, man, this line's come way down already. Way down. Wow. Chargers are now a -0.5 in the first half. Wow. Money line the Chargers. First half. We'll get that play out there early for you guys for tomorrow. But let's go. Let's do the thing that we do here. That is to talk about the best damn chat in the business. It's going to talk about their plays, what they're on, what you guys are doing out there. We've all been grinding on this card all day. Some early action while grinding on the later action. Anyhow, the time is now to share your best bets in the chat. I love to talk about them. Let's shout out you guys that are here ready to rock with us. David Wallace is here. There's Gerald Jones in the house. Texas -125 says Tigers lost. Tigers. Let me try that again. Tigers last night +135. Got it. Sorry. Man, my eyeballs, my eyes. Gerald Jones says NFL 5 weeks away. David Wallace, August 26th is fantasy football draft day. Let's go. Vitalis says Brian, woo, the first 5 killer. You guys can throw the Mariners money line in tonight. Also, Kenny Woods rocking and rolling. Stop Geo Engineers here. Our guy F. Donahue giving us the gifted sports money membership. If you guys were gifted a sub, think about giving a sub. Get one, give one. Get one, give one. It's good business. It's good karma. It puts me in a great mood. Shout out to Joe W's here as well, rocking with us. 9 Legacy. He agrees. Brian Griner, he says. Peter Krause says, sup, Mikey Jim, workout. But I'm listening. Let's cash, my dude. Let's do that. Indeed. Cedric, talking about that Pirates game. It is 2-1. It is 2-1. It would be a shame if that game went over after such a perfectly crafted afternoon baseball card. Let's go. Peter Gracia says, good call. The Sox smashed. Peter Gracia says, KC 1-0. Barry's in the house. Is good day on the afternoon action. Jeff Matthews. Only 3 games tomorrow. Is that the baseball slate? Is that what's up? I saw the early game. I saw the early game. Is that true? Oh, you know why? Because it's trade deadline. It's a trade deadline. Tomorrow. Thank goodness. Let's get through this uncertainty of what the hell is going on with this major league season. And let's just move in. Let's move on to this second half. Get this bullshit all-star break and trade deadline out of the way so we can get back to doing what we do. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza. Catch that 2-piece combo yesterday that gave out. Appreciate the under 2.5 bet. Easy casher it was. Shout out to Dana Delp. Trip Carroll. What do you think about a Rays Rockies parlay? Why not? I don't like Cleveland. Cleveland's trying to make some trades too. Stevie Ray Kwan. I'm a fan of Stevie Ray Kwan. Looking to trade his ass, maybe to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is also trying to negotiate for a closer. They need one. Jeff Matthews says, yeah, with the trade deadline. Yep. Joe W says San Francisco, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Lou got bashed last time he pitched in Sacramento, says Jerry Davis. Jay Main in the house. Fernando, Inter Miami, team total over. I'll just give you guys the fade dudes plays right now. How about that? You guys do what you want with them. Fade dude. Pumas in Orlando. Both teams to score. He says yes, the fade would be no. He likes that Inter Miami team total over 1.5, and he parlayed it with Atlanta United, both teams to score. I think the exact number of goals Inter Miami scores is 1 or 0, Fernando Mendoza. But I will root you on, my friend. I'm giving you guys that fade action to consider with your day. Now, I did put a play out there over on Instagram, an RBI play of the day. Again, we went 2-2 yesterday, made just about 2 units there. I think maybe a couple dollars over. So that was a good day. 4 plays, 500, 2 units. Big bomb cash. That was the first one to cash, too, on top of it. So, one RBI play out there today. Probably could toss another. There's Nasty Nate says Darren with 4 RBIs today. Yeah, they scored 100 runs. Darren's the other guy that the Phillies are trying to acquire in that closing role. We'll see what happens as the time ticks away. But I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are ready to go. We got action to pump out here tonight. So let's get to the getting. We got ourselves a small slate, but a quality slate of action. The last day before we see some players potentially get traded to new teams. What I'm looking for, kind of why I've been slightly distracted here. I want to get involved in the Elise Mertens business. Women's tennis. She smoked her in the first set. It was minus 200. Friend stopped by. I missed a chance to whack it. I was going to just take the minus 200. I missed it. And then she went up to 400. She's back down to 350. I'm kind of hoping maybe she loses this set and she'll be juicy at minus 200 again, but I think that's a mismatch. I'm surprised to see Kalinsky hanging in there at all. But anyways, Tampa Bay Rays, New York Yankees. Got to have all the tentacles out. All the feelers have to be out there when we have a small slate of action. We got to find a way to capitalize and continue to build these bankrolls. You guys remember the deal. Hey, just $300 a day of net profit is over $100K a year. Easier said than done, but you got to have your eye on some sort of a prize. You got to have some type of a benchmark to say whether it's a good day or a bad day, and we're having a good day. So let's go. Yeah, I guess I would consider the Rockies. That Rockies line moved from plus 162 to 155. 88% of the bets and 95% of the cash are on the Guardians. And again, I think the Guardians is a tough spot to be involved with here because they are trying to sell some pieces. They're in shambles right now. Not just because of the gambling issues, but as a squad at whole. I've got Tampa Bay Rays, New York Yankees action. Bang! Cash that. Pirates, that's a 4-1 day this afternoon. That's what we needed. And I'll take this Padres home with me too. Why the fuck not? Why not us? 69% of the bets, only 58% of the cash on the New York Yankees. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Aaron Judge is out of the lineup. And so we do have a little bit of a positive differential on the big money coming in on Tampa Bay. This total's at 9. It hasn't moved. 85% of the bets, 90% of the cash. This really has the makings of a bring your glove to the ballpark night. There is a chance of rain. It is hot as balls. It is windy. It's blowing down the dick, as our guy Jose Bouquet would say. Favorable conditions for runs. Lots of guys to look at for runs. I looked at Anthony Volpe. I'm just thinking to myself, did I put the right guy on the Anyhow. Yeah, we look at the spot. A couple things to note. Zach Lytle will start on the Tampa Bay side of things. Zach Lytle got touched the fuck up his last start. It was ugly. It was against Cincinnati. And he did everything but puke his nuts up all the way. I think he half puked him up. He got hit 10 times. He gave up 5 earned runs. He gave up 2 home runs. He only struck out 2 dudes. In fact, zoom out his last 5 games, 12 runs he's given up, 4 homers. Unbelievable. That being said, I don't believe this is a Yankee spot. Small, I shouldn't say small, but divisional favorite Yankees. If it's not over a minus 170, right? So they're not supposed to blow them out and bust them open. They're 0-12. Not the Yankees' year. And because of that, I'm comfortable taking some plus monies, as our guy Sharpie says, on the Tampa Bay side of things. That's how we'll pop this card off. Whoops. See, I got to fix something really quick. There it is. Not sure what I did here. Not sure what I did there, but let's go. Pop her off with a little plus money action 7:05 game here. The New York Yankees, the Tampa Bay Rays. Game number 2, the LA Dodgers, the Cincinnati Reds will be in business here. And we see ourselves again. We talked about that game yesterday. We caught the right side of it. First 5, not the full game. And we got ourselves an interesting situation with 83% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the Los Angeles Dodgers. The lines come down a nickel. It's oscillated because it's gone up 3 cents on the red side of things. So a lot of money coming in on the Dodgers is the bottom takeaway there without really any tell on what's happening with the line. The total, however, has come down to 9.5 from that 10. Over that key number of 9, and it's come back down despite 55% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the over. Now, Shohei Ohtani will toe the rubber to pop things off with a 1.5 ERA. Impressive. Is he impressive to the tune of being a $2 favorite, $1.75 favorite? I'm not so sure. In fact, I'm willing to say no. But instead of just going with the full game this time, or first 5 this time, I want to get invested in the full game, and I want the big price tag with it for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, excuse me, the under is a real deal for the Cincinnati Reds. Matter of fact, the system for the Cincinnati Reds team is 71-43 to the under. Lower scoring affair. Now, I always like to consider that when I'm looking at the side, because if it's a 2-1 game and it's a lower scoring spot, we don't need to have all the superpower in the world to be able to scratch 2 runs across and catch that W. We do need to score. And similar to, we talked about the Yankees in that spot of an 0-12er. How about the Dodgers? This time, as opposed to being in division, when they're non-divisional favorites, less than a minus 190. So not egregious, not expecting a full-fledged nuke job. They leave 9 or more runners stranded on base. Non-divisional favorites, not a huge favorite. Leaving 9 guys on base, not scratching them across the finish line is always going to be a problem. And for the Dodgers, it is a big problem. They're 0-8 in those positions out there. I like the Cincinnati Reds in this game, but I want the full game. Mostly because I don't want to just focus in on Ohtani. If this is like a 2-1 spot, Ohtani's up after the 5, we're fucked. But give me the full game. Let me use that full trend of that 9 spot. Let's knock this Dodgers team out of this thing. And you know, the other angle that's kind of working in the favor too is the home team facing the sweep. That's a big deal. Those things are winning at about a 60% rate, especially in the dog roll. We'll take a shot with the Cincinnati Reds. We'll see if that can get us paid. What do you guys think? What say you guys? Terry Davis is 8-1-1 in this spot to the under the last 10 road games. And the Dodgers own 5 straight up at this price range on the road. Excellent analysis. Shout out to Kelly V in the house. WNBA, Minnesota revenge of the playoffs. Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th says lefty bats in Yankee Stadium. Jerry Davis has cashed a bet today. Pittsburgh +1. Pittsburgh +0.5 first 5. Pittsburgh 2 in San Francisco under 5 parlay. Wow. Shout out to Spoon Bets in the house. Barry says Pittsburgh cashes. Fernando says, don't disrespect me like that. No disrespect. This is no, you're not the fade guy. You're not the fade guy. You guys thought Red X was something special. We got a full-fledged fade. I've been fading this dude for years. Dana Delp says Reds haven't been swept all year. That is an accurate statement. The only team in Major League Baseball not to be swept. Jay Main says, what about Mikolas? Well, let's go. Let's talk about this Miami spot. So a couple pitchers I like today. You know, I mentioned that I like Volpe. I know he's in the 9 spot, or at least he was in the projected lineup. Let me see what this lineup looks like now. Let me take a quick peek here. We're making good time. Get these plays knocked out. Get everybody on their way. Getting ready to watch First Strike tonight, so you can get that best line movement. Or beat the line movement, I should say. Oh, they moved Volpe to 8. How about that? Even better. Even better. The reason I say that's even better is because Austin Wells was sitting there at 8 as the projected, and Ryan McMahon was right in front of him. So I expected Ryan McMahon to get on base, or Jazz Chisholm, one of those two guys, to get on base, and then Volpe to go out there and clean him in. Clean him up, clean him in. Mikolas going to take the rubber for the St. Louis Cardinals. He is at home, so he does have that going for him, if anything. His ERA does go down about a full point when he's pitching at home. So there's that element of business. I don't know. I was looking at this game. I was just thinking, what have we really seen thus far? And we've got Cal Quantrill going on the other side of things for the Marlins. Kind of sucks on the road. It's not really great anywhere, right? I mean, he's got a 5 ERA. He's just not the best of dudes out there. He does, however, shut down lefties. There are 1/3 of the lefties in the lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's a big deal. 349 batting average against righties, 188 against lefties. That's Cal Quantrill. The question is, how do you attack it? How do we look at this one? And what do we know? First of all, this series has been good to us for the unders. We're going to keep riding these unders. Going to keep riding this particular under. We talked about it yesterday. Knew that Miami spot was the play. Got greedy with the under because we knew that St. Louis can't back up a win after a win, especially as a favorite. Tonight, I'm not so sure about the side. I mean, how do you not, if you're St. Louis, how are you not carving this team up, selling it off like a fucking auction of stolen car parts? I don't know. I mean, I guess the question is, what do you have left? Donovan, Burleson, Contreras, and Arenado? I don't think the market's in too much of a demand there. I could see the Yankees sneaking in an Arenado, though, just to disrupt the apple cart. I like Kyle Stowers. What's not to like? The kid hits a 305 against righties. That is Miles Mikolas. Miles Mikolas sucks against lefties and righties. Cal Quantrill's 10-0 to the under. Team that averages less than 8.6 hits a game. So in other words, when the team's not showing an effective offense, he can go out there and shove. And that's what I think he can do tonight. Does help that 1/3 of that lineup are lefties. We'll take a shot. We'll take this under 8.5. Why not? Been good to us. See if we can't sweep that thing out. Get 3 straight unders. 3 or 4? 3. It's only Wednesday. Speaking of, who is playing tomorrow? You guys had shouted that out there. We've got the Yankees and Rays at 1. The Braves and Reds at 7. And Texas and Seattle. That's a Texas spot. That's a Texas spot because when Seattle goes down to Texas, they win because they're not built to play in their own ballpark. And when Texas rolls back up there, they got themselves in a revenge spot and a shit road team at 22-32. But the offense has come alive. Kumar Rocker, Jorge Kirby. Just remember that. Texas spot's a Texas spot tomorrow. Okay. Take a quick peek. Why not? What else are we doing? We got time. We got a few minutes, you know? Shout out to Gary. What's up, Gary? Jerry Davis says, I bet Colorado under 2.5 runs. Yeah, just the 3 games. Do I trust Nick Martinez? Yeah. I trust Nick Martinez because the players on the Dodgers lineup don't have a ton of success against him. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez does. 5 at-bats, 2 hits. I don't know if that's a ton of success. It's the best batting average. Mookie Betts, 24 at-bats, 6 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. That's it, but that's a 250. It's the highest volume. Freddie Freeman, 9 at-bats. He's got a 111 against Nick Martinez. I think this is one of those spots. I think you can trust him. Phillies 2-1. Phillies putting a run on the board. There's that 200 for Mertens. Jeez. It's juicy. Kelly V says Texas money line. No, been on over series. Been an over series. Yes, it has been. Yes, it has been. Jay Main says that's a short number for how good Eovaldi has been. Phillies acquire. There we go. They're in. They were asking for Painter, and they did not want to give up Painter. I'm not sure if they did or not. Do you know what they gave up for it? Redbeard. Was it a king's salary? Like a king's ransom? Like, there it is. There it is. Like those Mets gave up way too much for, was it Rogers? Oh, man. Yeah, he's a closer, but you got to be in the game to close them out. They were already doing a good job closing them out. That just seemed ridiculous. Two top prospects. Doesn't say. That is the biggest move of the deadline so far, per whoever this fucking meatball is. Doesn't say anything about who they gave up. Oh, it's Jeff Passan. Jeff. Do you see they fired Shannon Sharp today from ESPN? Redbeard says Mick Abel. Really? That seems a little aggressive. You wanted Painter, but you didn't want Abel? Huh. All right. Well, anyhow, let's keep her going. Keep her moving. We got 2 more Major League Baseball games. Like I said, we've got 3 plays for the WNBA here tonight. So plenty of action still amongst this card. The Texas Rangers will be battling it out with the Los Angeles Angels. Again, we were on that spot last night. We nailed that spot. I think we've nailed. Oh, no, we didn't. Because we had the 7+ strikeouts in the Texas Rangers to win. And they did not. That sucked. In hindsight, that was never the play. his to win the game was -115. That was never going to happen. Eovaldi, the righty, Jose Suriano. I started the year a Jose Suriano fan on the Angel side of the bump. But he's got a struggle in ERA now, man. At home, he's 5.37 ERA, and he just came off of getting busted up. 2 earned runs, 2 home runs in that spot out there. Not a spot, and that was against the Seattle team. Man, he's not had the easiest go of it. In fact, the last time he faced Texas, he got busted up. He went 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, walked 5 dudes. His walking has been atrocious. Now, he did kind of rein it in just a little bit against that Seattle spot. 1 walk, but man, he's given up like 15 walks in the last 5 games. Tough spot to be for this Los Angeles Angels side of things. And, you know, the Texas Rangers, obviously they muffed it away on Monday, but Eovaldi on the road, 1.26 ERA, killer status, full-fledged killer. He's been going deep. He's got 5, 6, 8 innings, 5 innings against the Atlanta. They picked up 4 straight wins in this guy's position out there. Eovaldi's the guy. I like this position for a couple of different reasons. I didn't talk to you guys about the splits. Give me just a second. -124 has not moved. 73% of the bets, 87% of the cash are on the Texas Rangers. The total's faking. It's like we talked about yesterday. They're shading it to the over. I think that means they want you to take or that they're concerned about the under. 91% of the bets, 81% of the cash. The reason I say that, so anybody's wondering what the vocabulary means, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, right? But when you show an 8 and it's -110, and you see all the cash flow coming in on the over, sometimes the books will throw that false flag out there. They'll show 8.5 to make you think that it's moving to the over, but it's like even money. So it's not really, it's just it's a fake. It's a head fake that the books are sharing to this over. And I think that makes sense because I do like this as an under spot for a couple of reasons. 1, Eovaldi should go out there and shove. 2, I think Jose Suriano can hold his own against these boys. I know he got busted up the last time, but I think the second time I zigzag when it comes to the pitchers. Now, this isn't an immediate revenge spot for Suriano, but I still think this has the makings for a lower scoring game. Eovaldi is a perfect 11-0 in the favorite role after a home start that he shoved. Shoved is defined by faced less than 27 batters and struck out more than 6 dudes. He follows it back up with shoving. Now, does that mean you take Texas first 5? You could. I mean, it's a little juicy, a little more juicy than this juice that's already out there, but I just want the full game in this case. Let this game run its momentum. I think the better batters lie with Texas. I think that the opportunity for Eovaldi to go into the 6th or 7th inning in this case just puts us in a good position to manage our bankroll appropriately. Last game I do have on the card, though, I do have a first 5 play in this spot coming up. So we got the Texas Rangers at minus 123. Jerry Davis bet Eovaldi under 2 walks. That's not a bad look. Not a bad look at all. Spoon Bets likes the Rangers money line. What's going on? Got some music playing? Where the fuck is that coming from? All right. The last game I got for you guys in Major League Baseball tonight, we got the Mariners and Athletics. Touched on just about, well, I guess we did touch on every game in this baseball card. 74% of the bets, 79% of the cash on the Mariners. It's come down 11 cents. That's called reverse line movement. Pretty split on the total. 49% of the bets are on the over, but 54% of the cash. Pretty split. It was an interesting game last night because the whole planet was on the over 10.5. They faked you. They head faked you, just like I talked about with that Texas game. Went down to 10 by the time the game popped. Well, then I guess it did show some 11s out there too, but it was all juiced to the 10.5 and the under. That's where the shading comes into play when you're trying to read these lines. The Athletics have been firing. They busted up Houston. Swept them, as a matter of fact. They're splitting the series here against Seattle, the Athletics. Did they call them Oakland? Problem with Seattle is they win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. If you follow the zigzag theory, they just lost one. So do they come back and fire? I took the first 5 in this game. I laid the run line, the half a run line. I told you I had a buddy that used to cap I don't know if I told you guys this. I told somebody this. His best kept, and he sells picks, which is unbelievable that people would pay for this, but he would just look for the highest first 5 run line and then give that out as a play, like minus 145s. Dude, what are you doing? So don't be afraid of laying the first 5 run line when you have a spot that makes a lot of sense. This spot does make a lot of sense to me. This is Seattle against lefties. This is why I went first 5 and not full game. Because of the lefty effect. Seattle's got a perfect 8-0 against lefties. Seattle's got Texas on deck and they're going back home. They're going to pick up a win. They might as well get it here. And let's not forget to mention, it's Brian Woo that's going to be on the bump there with a 2.91 ERA. Sounded like a beagle howling more than a Brian Woo shout out there. But yeah, Brian Woo does look to be in a bounce back position as well. His last outing, probably not his finest. But again, I think this is one of those spots where they kind of loaded the roster in a funny place because they've got an opportunity where I believe they do have the pitching edge. The numbers will show Brian Woo's in a win position. And by not having him out there to start the series, you get him out there against Jeff Springs. Not that Springsy's had a bad run of it with a 4.13 ERA, but goes up just a little bit at home. He's been giving up runs pretty consistently. Listen to his last 5 games. He gave up 2, he gave up 1, he gave up 3, he gave up 5, he gave up 2. Pretty consistent, this guy can give up some runs. And, the Brian Woo bounce back effect. He went 6 innings. He got hit 4 times. He gave up 2 earned runs. I mean, I don't know if that's terrible, but, went into the All-Star break. He pitched 7 innings. Went into the 8th inning against the Yankees before the All-Star game. Got a strikeout in the All-Star game. Came back, went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, gave up 2 runs against the Angels. So yeah, this is that third spot. This is the trilogy. Can he come out there and bounce back? I think he can. The numbers show he can. It's a modest run line to pay in a spot that I think this game ends up going under anyways. I think it's a good opportunity for us to take a shot with a little Seattle first 5 minus a half. We'll lay the run line. Yeah, Spoon Bet says they just traded. I don't like that they gave up Abel if that's the case. Jerry Davis doesn't think that they know how to work in a park like this. I don't think they know how to work at a park at home. That's a fact. Exhibited by the fact that they don't do shit for runs. What do we got? Forgot to change the banner. Whoops, my bad. There's them Nomad Athletics. Nomad Lions. They don't have a home. They're roamers. Don't you roam. Don't you go rover, Jackie Moon. WNBA is going to pop off here in just a little bit. We got 2 spots. It's a 3-game card. 2 8 p.m. games, the Liberty and the Lynx. Good luck on that game. The Liberty now trying to bounce back off that big loss. That was their first road game after being at home for like 6 weeks. The Lynx just took a loss to the Atlanta Dream at home, and they're one of the best home teams out there. Yet the line's gone from 8 down to 7s, and there's a lot of injuries floating around. I'm going to stay off of that one. How about that? I am going to get involved on this one. I'm going to take the first half. I'm going to cut this game down for 2 reasons. The Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. The Caitlin Clark-less Fever, by the way. Aaron Judge is out and Caitlin Clark's out. It hasn't mattered the last 2 games for... here we go. Here we go. Here we go. She just dropped that. She just got broke. Mertens. What do we got? What can we get her at? What can we get her at? She just got broke. How's it still going to be a minus 200? Fuck that. All right. Anyways. 2 things as I was looking at this game. One, yeah, the line's moving a little bit. They're still winning, certainly. The problem is this is the styles and matchup situation. The Mercury just dominated. Big win for the Mercury. 88-72 against the Mystics. Still a big road series here. This will be their 3rd straight road game since coming back from the All-Star game, the Mercury. I think that's important because I can see this game kind of, if you game flow it, I think it's a slow start for the Mercury. And the Fever, on the other hand, here's the thing about the Fever. This will be their 5th road game in 6. Yes, the All-Star breaks inside of there. I'm sorry, they're not on the road, they're at home. Excuse me. Start that over. Yes, this will be their 4th game since the All-Star break. They did just bust up the Chicago Sky. We talked about how bad the Sky are. They won that game by 15 points. Bottom line for me, though, is it just kind of comes to schedule placement. If you look at who's ahead for the Fever, I think it's a tricky little spot. I think they start out fast. They do their thing. But inevitably, the challenge for them, they got Vegas on deck. That's who's on deck for the Fever. That's a big team. That's a big former back-to-back champion team. The Fever are 6-0 in the home dog roll. Totals less than a 170.5. 6-0. Outright, by the way. Typically winning by more than 10 points. I think they can start out strong. I think at some point the carriage turns into the pumpkin without this Caitlin Clark. There's only so many games you're going to win without your key talent out there. But I think they can start it out strong. Yeah, the Mercury. 3-1 straight up on the road. When they've got more rest, they're 6-1 in those positions. They do have some form, too. We talked about Sabali and Cooper coming back. And, the difference why I wanted the first half and not the full game, not just to look ahead, is because I think the defense is stronger with the Mercury. I know that. I can look at the stats and the data. Stronger defense, and they're 3-point maulers. But I expect with this being their 3rd straight road game that they can start a little sluggish, and we can find a way to bang away this first half and cash this 1.5. Take the money line if you want. I didn't see enough of that nickel investment to make it worthwhile not to take that spot. But I do double dip this next game. Redbeard says early lead. Jerry Davis thinks the Lynx all day. Bounce back, revenge, and no Stewart. Yeah. Jerry Davis is the same thing I'm thinking there. He thinks Indiana can get the first half. The Mercury can get the full game. Spoonbat says Woo has a 6'4" whip with runners in scoring position. This guy can pitch from the stretch well. I want to add Seattle. I like Seattle. Jay Main thinks we're going to get busy in Sacramento tonight. All right. 2 plays in this game. Big movement, too. This line opened up as 7.5 pointers, now down to 3.5. Moving towards the Wings direction. A little scary. I like this spot, though. I'm going to jump in. I'll just give this right to you guys here. So the trend for me is on the over in this game. And that's important because if it's going to go over, I like the dog to be scoring some points. And, yeah, they just came off that New York Liberty win. This will be their 3rd straight home game. They got busted up by Las Vegas. They knew they had the Liberty on deck. That was the first game the Liberty took off on the road. And they won outright by 10 as an 8-point dog. The Dream, we talked about it. We faded them against Golden State. They were 8.5-point favorites. They lost outright. Was it because they were looking ahead to the Wings? No. It's because they just had the biggest win of anybody in the WNBA, taking down the Lynx at home. That's why the Lynx are in the bounce-back position. But it comes down to some trendage. The over has a big trend out there. We have intersecting zeros, gives me a little over love. 14-0 for Dallas to the over. Less than 8 days of rest after a spread cover of 8 or more points and allowed less than 50% shooting. Crazy. They're averaging 184 points. They're sailing over the number because Dallas doesn't play shit for defense anyways. And Atlanta's 8-0 to the over. They didn't win the previous game by double digits, and the opponent had less than 36 points in the paint. In other words, they out-rebounded them and somehow were not able to get on top of that thing. That's where the expectation against execution come into play out there. They underachieved. So essentially you're buying low. And the average you're seeing there is almost 178 points a game in those 2 spots. 184, 178. I got this number pegged down. I thought it was a pretty decent look at 166.5. We'll take the Dallas money line. I'm sorry, Dallas +4. Probably a Dallas wins outright spot as well, but I'll take the 2 buckets in my back pocket. I'll take the over 166.5, and I'll put a bow on the show. Just like that, we're all said and done here, you guys. Appreciate everybody that came through checking us out tonight. Man, it was a monster day yesterday. If we can just get close to that again today. We're already starting off big, 4-1 to start the day. Let's see if we can't keep her running as we get ready for First Strike tonight. You guys will be out there around 9 o'clock or so. Make sure you get ready to check it out. 9:30. You can check it out. You can hear what we're giving you guys for our 3 best bets. I'm telling you, mine's 160. I think it's 162. I think it's on its way down. So we'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys all for checking it out on behalf of the Sports Money crew. Good luck with your bets. Bet responsibly. Keep it the same unit size. We don't believe in those chases. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. to do it again. Win or lose, we'll still show up, talk to you guys about the best action that we can give you for the next day here. Yeah, you said it. 3-game MLB card. Means there's only 2 at night. We'll find some action to get ourselves into. Plus, we've got the NFL preseason back. Don't forget to get that first half Chargers in there. And I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys. Good luck with your action.